Good evening. Welcome to the Third and Long podcast. It is Thursday, the 1st of December, and I'm still not going to say Happy Christmas.
Goodbye.
We are here yet again. I am with, from his sickbed, Mr. Harris,
All right.
Mr. Gloating Phil Hope, and Mr. Love His Voice down there with his
And
Alan Shearer mug,
Ebenezer,
which I
and Mr.
absolutely love
Ebenezer
that.
Scrooge up there.
Yes, I'm
Ebenezer
Scrooge.
I don't blame him at all.
Well, the
Well,
last,
Christmas not six.
I've got a few things. Ollie just called me Mr. Phil.
I hear that.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You called me Phil Hope.
No, well, never mind.
And also, why the last thing before we went live did I hear is Ollie go, Baby Gru!
I hear that. I hear that as well.
I got tagged in something on Facebook, and there's a picture of Baby Yoda on it. Okay, I like Baby Yoda.
Then why did
Baby
you say
Yoda
Baby
is
Gru?
brilliant. Whatever.
But I'd just like to say before we continue, before we get the show rolling, I had to drag my ass out of bed for the first time in 2 days to come on because I don't like missing 2 shows in a week. And because I'm not wearing my Ravens gear today, as you can probably tell. I'm wearing this in celebration of the best band in the world, making their first new music in 6 years this week. So I'm quite pleased with that. Just wanted to get that off my
Wait,
chest.
We never released an album since 2009. I don't know what you're talking about.
Have-
But I want to say something,
2015.
though. They
Have
weren't the
Club
top
7
list of
released
your
new music?
Spotify Wrapped.
I know. This year, the first year in about 10 years.
So you just said the best band in the world have released new music.
Yeah.
S Club 7 have
Yeah.
released a new album.
Oh, come on.
I'll
give you that one.
Party like an S Club party.
Ain't no party like an S Club party.
Tell you one thing, they have booked the Venga Boys for Bloodstock, mind.
The Venga bus is coming.
Oh,
and every...
God.
oh, I love the Venga
Yeah,
Boys.
David, hopefully Spain and Germany are both heading out, but there's still 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, well, it's probably half an hour after this football.
Anyway, shall we stop talking about music and move on to American football?
Certainly.
Yeah, talk on to the other shape ball. Should we go on to Monday night?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, Spain
Phil.
are back in now, so I'm guessing they just scored.
No,
Hold
yeah.
on. Yes.
So, Phil, you are on this podcast, Mr. Jeff Saturday's biggest lover fan.
I am.
Explain why you are chasing the game, needing a touchdown, and still leaving 2 timeouts on the field.
Do you know what it is? He's playing the long game on this. He must have thought that Matt Ryan has not had a career of letting teams down in the final couple of minutes. And I think the fact that he is not a head coach whatsoever, he is the equivalent of. He's not even an armchair quarterback because, we would have called timeouts. I don't know. I just think Jeff Saturday is just grateful that he has a job, and I respect.
Do we not think Matt Ryan also could have called the timeout?
Yeah, exactly that. Matt Ryan is a veteran. He's 15 years in this league. He gone, oh no, stay about timeout.
Did you not think that he could have looked and known that Jeff Saturday maybe is not the most experienced coach in the world, so could have taken the responsibility on himself to manage the ball?
But not only that, but why isn't someone going to his ear? Jeff, timeout, Jeff.
We don't
My
know
name
they
is
weren't.
Jeff.
We don't know they weren't.
Exactly, but if that's the case, then he wasn't listening. Which that's the case, just shows he's not good enough. And sorry, your first win was an absolute fluke. Big news is Najee Harris.
I think we knew that anyway.
Najee Harris has suffered an injury from that one, as you know, Mr. Hope. Do you know how long he's out for?
I do not.
Shade, were you alive for this game?
I've been pretty much off the grid since Monday. I'm just checking. It's been pretty much work, death, and now death for the last 2 days.
Ollie, do you know how long he's out for?
I've not seen it. It says the last time I saw it is not. He's not placed on IR, unlike Von Miller, which I'm so happy about.
On the fantasy football app, it only does him down as questionable.
So perhaps he's back then. But yeah, I mean, my hands smell orange. Random.
I mean, yes, Von Miller's out, but the Bills' defense is still going to eat Mac Jones alive tonight.
Oh yes.
We'll
I
get
know
to that
what's
later
happening.
on. We will get to that later on. We do have other pressing issues to talk about.
Yes, let's
The-
take 20 minutes to talk about Elijah Mitchell's injury
No, I'm on about.
and Aaron
I'm not-
Donald's injury.
I don't want to talk about that.
What about Aaron Donald's injury, Phil? Should we talk about that?
I can talk about that.
I mean,
Not the one that's rolling across the bottom of the screen as we
I just
speak.
think we need to mention the fact that the two-time Defensive Player of the Year is out for 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, but he's not been placed on IR.
Yeah, but I think he's out for the season.
Rams will be having the number 2 pick. Well, sorry, Detroit will be having the number 2 pick.
Yeah,
That's right.
But I also don't want to spend too much time on this because I don't really want to talk about it. But yeah, Watson's back this week.
It's
I feel really
almost like
sorry. I feel
Go
really
on,
sorry. I feel really sorry for Jacoby Brissett. He's basically been holding the fort for the last 12 weeks, and he hasn't been playing really badly. But everyone knows he's going to get replaced by Deshaun when Deshaun comes back. And personally, just me being me, and you know me, I'm not backwards about going forwards. I hope Deshaun forgets how to play football. I hope he's awful.
Me too.
the interesting thing is
I mean,
that
everyone on this podcast has been pretty clear that we don't like Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
the Cleveland fans don't even like Deshaun Watson. I've not seen. I mean, I saw them when they played Pittsburgh, and I don't remember seeing a Cleveland shirt with the number 4 on it in the crowd. Whenever they panned to the crowd, I never saw a Sean. They didn't want him. You know, and it just shows that this guy has 24 incidents against his name, paid off 23 of them. Shows that is pure guilt there and
Wow.
then.
The lawyer of the 24 women has hired a suite for the game, and 10 of them are going to be there.
Bloody hell.
Oh.
Well,
That's just
At least 10. What I read is at least 10 have informed him that they're going to be there.
he is going to play like they're going to be relying on Chubb and Hunt
Oh yeah, they
a
will.
lot.
They will be leaning on Chubb so much the rest of the season.
It's going to, I mean, we saw lots of videos of pre-season when Deshaun Watson was allowed to throw. He couldn't hit a barn door with a banjo, let alone
Yeah.
receiver's chest. And trying to pick it up there, you don't know how he's going to be. The first hit, he's going to go, whoa, what's just hit me there?
Yeah.
You know, and it's going to be great fun. I can't wait to see that on Saturday. Him just get his ass absolutely handed to him. It's going to be brilliant.
So
Thing is-
anybody fancy a cheeky bet on the Texans? Like, you know, I'm
I'm going to come out and say I still fancy the Browns to win.
Yeah, I've still gone Cleveland because I just think Texans are deflated. I mean, we watched them against Miami. We've watched them most of the season. I mean, Miami, they only came back into it. Miami going, yeah, go and sit down to her. Go and sit down Waddle and Tyreek and all that. That's when they only came back at. Cleveland will get a win out of it, but if it goes to overtime, it'll be Houston to win it all day long.
If it's
You know,
not going to
it's-
go even close to overtime.
No, it won't. I don't think.
Nick
At
Chubb
all.
will win it for Cleveland.
Nick Chubb to run over 200 yards, do you reckon?
Definitely over 100.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Let's roll on to this week's Players of the Week. And I want to start with Phil's because I just think this is absolutely brilliant.
Now,
There we go.
there's many things that I love about professional sports, especially in the National Football League, and it's an art that I actually think gets overlooked in many respects. And we're not talking about like the art of being a great mascot. We're talking about the art of what in our country we call shithousery. And when you've got like a mascot like Jackson DeVille, who is larger than life, I mean, he's probably the most well-known Jacksonville Jaguars player next to Trevor Lawrence. And just to see him on the sidelines just the weekend, giving it large in his Speedos, giving it the full kind of like... Shane, who was that WCW wrestler who was German, who was Das Wunderkid?
Alex Wright.
Alex Wright, giving it the big Alex Wright. as he's gyrating in his speedos as the Baltimore Ravens absolutely get
Did you have
destroyed, man. Destroyed.
I mean, we all know that. We all know that's the real reason you missed Monday's podcast. I mean, you're saying all this COVID stuff, but it's just the fact
Yeah,
you didn't want to
COVID,
talk about the
Wales got
Ravens loss.
spanked. I mean, mate.
Boys, it's not COVID, it's a T virus at this point.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, it said something. They've even bigged him up on Good Morning Football, how brilliant it was. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And yeah, fair play. And yes, he will be on Twitter tomorrow with our Player of the Week's photos. Mr. Hope, let's have yours. And I think it's probably going to be one of the players of the season, if not MVP season.
I mean, this guy, he's incredible. He's like Lamar Jackson, but can actually throw the ball.
Oh, jeez.
I was going to put him. He's a lot like Jalen Hurts.
I mean,
Jalen Hurts is Jalen Hurts.
I mean, 16 for 28, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns, rushing for 17 times, 157 yards. I mean, he rushed more than he threw. Incredible.
It's mad. Absolutely mad, you know. But, yeah, I mean, the throws he makes is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's on the money. You know, I've been unlucky enough to see Lamar in person twice. I've seen him at Wembley, and I've seen him at Wembley, and I saw him a few weeks ago, unfortunately. But I just think Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback. I think Jalen Hurts is probably playing himself into probably a top 5 quarterback in this league this season.
At the moment, yes.
Yeah.
And I was very critical of that bloke last year. Incredibly critical.
I just like to clarify, I wasn't.
No,
I've
you were.
always
You've
seen the
always been
talent.
high on this. I couldn't see the talent of him, to be fair, and I hold my hand up to him, and I just didn't think he was good enough. And
Taylor Heineke, Jalen Hurts.
I thought Tyler Heineke was a good quarterback. I just wasn't as high on him as you are.
I'm sorry, you jumped on the bandwagon way after I did.
As they do say, he has shown he has definitely got the dog in him, Heineke.
Don't start saying that.
Shane Oak.
I'm going to make this short and sweet. Our old buddy in the comments, John Lewis. Firstly, John, how are you doing? Happy Thursday evening to you. I'm going to pick Josh Jacobs from the Raiders' unlikely victory against the Seahawks on Sunday. He had 33 rushing attempts for 229 yards, rushed for 2 touchdowns, and he also caught 7 passes as well. So fair play, he was a jack of all trades on Sunday, and he done really well. And I think his effort contributed to a very unlikely victory against the Seahawks.
And I want to add to that, he did it with a strained calf.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which he done
What a
on
guy.
Friday. He aggravated it in the warm-ups and still had 300 yards scrimmage.
What a guy.
I'm going to say something. Before I do my one up, 3 of our players, total scrimmage yardage is just shy of 1,000 yards.
Whoa, that's awesome.
So we've obviously had Jalen Hurts for 303. Josh Jacobs for 303 yards. We had Jalen Hurts with just over 300 yards. I've gone for probably the guy who... Oh, I've not pressed the button properly. There we go. I've gone for Mac. Mac is back off that
What
week.
he's gone for a Patriot.
Of course he have.
Shocking. Honestly, who's surprised?
Hang on. Whoa. Constantly pick Niners players.
One Niner player.
One Niner player. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we have the Patriots in the predictions later, to be honest. And to be honest, you probably got a Patriot catch of the week too.
Well, yeah, I was going to put the Hunt Henry touchdown that was not allowed in, but I thought, nah, we can't.
Yeah,
do
well,
that.
I mean, the ball hit the floor, didn't it?
No,
So-
to be fair, right. Mac Jones' highest yardage in the game.
Of his career, which isn't
Of
really
his
that
career.
impressive.
382 yards is.
I mean, Mahomes does
Not
that
many
like every week.
quarterbacks in this league have gone over 380 yards in this league. 2
Mahomes,
touchdowns.
4 times this
He hasn't
season.
thrown an interception. Shut up. He hasn't thrown an interception for 3 games.
Jimmy's not for 4.
For a guy who, the start of the season, wasn't that good. Come back from injury, fans were calling for his name. And since the bye week, the last 2 or 3 weeks, he's been superb. He's got better and better. He's looked like Mac from last year. That's why I think, and yeah, he has been really good this season. So
this would all be great
this Sunday.
if you didn't lose.
The loss was down to special teams and a couple of dodgy decisions. But
Win as a
never
team,
mind.
lose as a team. Mac's the quarterback.
Agreed.
He has to take responsibility.
Unlike the quarterback in New York. Do you think you let defense down? No.
Nope.
No.
Yeah. Let us know what you think. I know there's going to be a few people that are going to be happy, and there's going to be a few people going, "Oh, what about this person? You didn't choose my player." Put your comments in. Let us know. I do like that. Right, let's roll on to Catch of the Week. I need to bring the videos up. Who should we go for? First, I just want to show this because anytime we can see Sean McVay get hit on the face is always quite good. Mr. Hope is your first on the list. You can go first. I don't think she is watching, but if she is, I know she'll be very happy with this one.
Incredible catch. I mean, Drake London picking it up just before he hit the floor. This rookie is in the running for Rookie of the Year.
He has. Right. He hit that rookie wall. I think he made the thing. Doing a Jonathan Watt impression. Very early in this season. And then he's climbed out of it and he's starting to play really, really well.
I know Kenny Pickett will probably win Rookie of the Year, but some of the wide receivers should be in the running.
Yeah, most definitely. Definitely. I mean,
they'll probably give it to Kenny Pickett because apparently only quarterbacks are allowed to win that award. But
only quarterbacks are allowed to MVP, aren't they? Yeah.
It's an incredible catch.
Off the toes as well. And it was a poor throw.
Yeah, it was a poor throw that Drake London made look possible.
Yeah. He had no one around him. He could have... There you go, mate. Nice, easy catch. Catch, making her 15 yards until contact. Because that's how much space he had against Washington at that point.
Yes.
Let's start the role of the one-handers with Shano.
Getting all the time. Offensive line did a great job. And that one-hander, there's been so many.
Whoops, I forgot to take the volume off that one.
Be careful. You don't want the wrath of the shield on you. But I've always been a bit of a fan of David Njoku. I thought he is a quality tight end. And to do things like that, in a game of that magnitude towards that time of the game as well, phenomenal catch. He's a brilliant player. I'm a big fan of his.
I'm not a big fan of him, but that is a phenomenal catch.
Yeah. And all day.
I'm going to go from a catch from Thursday night. I could have picked 2 catches of his. And so I am going to go for... Where is he? Where's he gone? I am going for CD Lamb. And that's not loaded. There you go. End zone. 2. That is the way one hand brings it into literally classic.
I think you're going to go for the other CD Lamb catch.
Oh, what? The one on the end? On the byline? Yeah. I don't know. I just thought that was a brilliant catch. Let's go back to the guy who missed the first 6 games of the season through suspension. This is a brilliant catch as well. I mean, not bunt.
Oh, yeah.
It's
poor old DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, he started his career with the Texans, and now he's gone to the Cardinals, and now he missed the first game of the season because he's a massive drug abuser or performance enhanced abuser. It feels like he could potentially have a very wasted career because his talent is exceptional. What a catch. What an absolute catch. This is what makes it so irritating when, especially him getting his suspension, because he's such a quality player. It just happens that he'll probably have a nothing career because he's played for 2 very nothing teams in the NFL.
Last season should have been his season to go deep into the playoffs, but Kyler Murray choked. Absolutely choked on that one. Let's roll on to this week in football.
Yes, my favorite part of the show.
Awesome.
Or otherwise known as the Trent Dilfer Appreciation Hour.
Right. All right. So again, like most weeks with this week in NFL history, there has a slight theme to it. So bear with me as we go through it. Right.
Trent Dilfer.
So number one on the list, we've heard of the Dallas Cowboys, we've heard of the Houston Texans, but what other great NFL team have come from the great state of Dallas?
Darlington Renegades.
No.
Oilers.
No.
Go on then.
In 1952, on the 25th of November, the only ever win for NFL's Dallas Texans when they beat the Chicago Bears 27-3 at the Cotton Bowl.
Dallas Texans. Wow.
Wow.
In 1966, when our soccer came home, it also came home for the then Washington Redskins as they participated in the highest scoring NFL game where the Washington Redskins defeated the New York Giants 72-41. That alone
72.
is like a Madden score on Amateur Hour.
That's that's like a college score.
I was about to say 72-41. I've seen like college teams play that kind of football.
And we talk about how long the Saints have sucked until Drew Brees fell on their doorstep. Well, in 1967, the New Orleans Saints won their first ever victory when they beat the Philadelphia Eagles 31-24. And then many, many, many years, in fact, 20 years later, almost to the very date, the New Orleans Saints had their first ever winning NFL season.
Wow.
Well, I thought you were going to say their second win then.
Archie Manning. And then
Mad.
speaking about great players, in 1987, on the 29th of November, you might have heard of a little-known quarterback, Joe Montana of the San Francisco 49ers, completed an NFL record of 22. That's right, 22 consecutive passes as the 49ers made the Super Bowl that year.
Phil, just momentarily, you mentioned 1966 there. It indeed was a great year for English football. Eric Cantona was born.
Yeah, and so a couple of days ago was a great day for Welsh football, wasn't it, Shane?
No, no, we got there. Our tiny little nation, first time in 64 years, got there. The boys didn't play the best, but you can't knock them for getting in the first
Did
place.
they play at all?
They turned up. It's like me and work.
I gotta be careful.
Now,
Yeah, because she'll belt do.
Is Kelly watching?
we talk about Green Bay going through some quarterback struggles, going through this transition of Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. But before the A-Rod, J-Love thing came about, we had the Brett Favre saga. And I can tell you this, in 1997, this week in NFL history, Brett Favre did not struggle to beat Trent Dilfer's Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a 17-6.
It's taken 24 minutes for Trent Dilfer.
Where Trent Dilfer had a 35% quarterback rating.
Look at him. He loves it. He revels this every week.
Here we go. Kelly's come in with hello. Kelly, what was your thought on all these little comments about the Welsh football team?
What, mine?
No, mine.
Oh.
You'd be Kelly tonight now.
Before we go on to this week's this actual game week 13, we saw Aaron Rodgers got injured on Sunday Night Football, Monday morning. Jordan Love came in and played absolutely brilliantly. Is this time for Aaron Rodgers to go? Yeah, I really need to step back on this thing. Let that kid play and me support him, or is it going to go? No, I want to play. Give me the ball. I'm playing.
As
Even
as
if
I've
I'm
always
injured.
said, right, sometimes you got to know when you've had a career and when to walk away. I mean, like, me and Phil completely understand this. When you look at wrestlers who are wrestling past their prime, the likes of Ric Flair, who keep on going until the wheels fall off, all you do is tarnish your legacy. So I think Roger should sort of become second string now and leave Jordan Love have his day.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with what you said, Ollie, and give him the last game of the season. But right now, Jordan Love needs experience, as he's going to be the starting quarterback next season.
Yeah, it's time now, isn't it? And, Aaron Rodgers gone, but he's not done any serious damage. Apparently, he's not punched a lung or anything like that. But it is time, get yourself rest. If they want him to be the starter next year, if you want to be starter next year, let that kid have the reps. You're not going to you're not going to get in the playoffs. If he loses, it means you get a better pick. It means you're going to get the better players for yourself. Well, the better players for yourself. Yeah, let him go for that one. Right. Predictions first, I think. Shano, you are leading the way on 31 points. I've dropped back a little bit to 28. Philo, you're on 27, and Ollie, I don't know where you are. You're in a different postcode somewhere.
Oh, I'm bringing it back.
Yeah, you're only one behind me now, mate. So myself and Ollie have already said we've gone for Cleveland in the first one.
Okay, yep.
The other game is Jacksonville against Detroit. We've also got KC against the Bengals, and then we've got some team that play in California against some team in Florida. I don't know, some inadequate teams. I don't know.
Two teams that have a better record than your team.
And his team.
I think we have the same as them, don't we?
No, you're 7-4, aren't you, Shana?
Yes, we are. Yeah.
So are we.
Yeah. To be fair, I thought you were more than that. I forgot you've had your bye. So, Shano, would you like us to start us the way, please, sir?
Yeah, certainly. I am going to go completely out the box, and I think I'll go with the Texans. Because obviously the Deshaun Watson factor, the team hasn't played around him. They don't know what kind of player he is. They've seen tape, but you can't sort of do it unless you're with someone week in, week out. And I think as being the most important player on the field, I think that's going to throw a lot of things off. and it wouldn't surprise me if the Texans do pull off the upset. And then you got the Jags and the Lions. Ordinarily, this would be a huge tank bowl and nobody would care about. But it's a game between two tremendously entertaining teams. Even though I will say after what happened last week, I gotta be biased, unbiased journalism. I think the Lions will take that one, hopefully. And then we have the Chiefs and Bengals. Yeah, I got it. No, I'm not doing. I'm going to leave that one to last. Chiefs and Bengals. You've got to go Chiefs. Don't know. They'll take some stopping. They're 9-2. They're 9-2 for a reason. They'll take some stopping. I don't think the Bengals are the team to do that. And Dolphins and the Niners. And I'm not just saying this to upset certain people. I think the Dolphins will take it because I think the Dolphins have a better offense, and I think they have a better offense than 90% of the teams in the league anyway. And I think the fact that they're 8-3, they're gearing up for a deep playoff run when it comes that time. And I think they'll take it.
Yeah. So obviously I'm next as I'm on 28. I have gone for Cleveland. I've got a feeling that you will still see a lot of Jacoby Brissett in this game. I don't think they're going to go, Deshaun, there's the keys to the Ferrari, the keys to the bloody, not even a Ferrari, the Fiat 500 a Bath.
Keys to the Fiat Panda.
Yeah, keys to the Fiat 500 a Bath. Let Deshaun sit in the passenger seat. Let Jacoby sit in the passenger seat just in case. That guy, he's not going to be fully in control of the offense. I don't know how much to play, but like you said, he's not going to know the full routes. You're not going to see. You're going to expect a receiver to make a slight cut in, and then the ball's going to be thrown that way. Just the different receiver routes. He's not going to pick that up in 2 weeks of practice.
I'm just going to point at this one here.
She's got it right.
Kelly like a true spoken like a true Bengals fan.
It's the hope that kills you.
So yeah, I'm going for Cleveland. I just think there's two. That it's Houston will probably get beaten by the likes of Alabama, Clemson, LSU. I really do think they are that bad. Jacksonville, Detroit. Jacksonville, they had a great win against you boys last week, Shano.
All right.
A good win. No, I'm not taking the mick. And whenever teams like that have really good wins against really good teams, they struggle the next week.
Yeah.
And Lions are on the crest of a wave at the minute. Yes, they lost last week, but they are on the crest of a wave, and they are playing incredibly well at the minute. Their defense is stepping up, being a lot better now. Hutch is getting a lot more involved. Their secondary is brilliantly. Rodrigo is making some massive hits in that linebacker section.
Rodrigo.
And their offense is firing. And they've got two very, very good running backs, and they've got a couple of really good wide receivers, and they've got a good tight end in there. So I'm going Detroit. I just think KC's pass offense will get to Joe Burrows. I don't think that Bengals O-line is fixed at all yet. So I'm going to go for KC, and I'm not saying that to please the little boy upstairs. Now your game. I have to and froed this game a lot.
It's a really hard game to call.
So I'm going to go back. The reason I'm going back to pick this game for when you played Kansas early on in the season. That time, Kansas were the number one scoring offense in the league. They were the number one offense in a lot of places, and you struggled. You are now going against an incredibly good, offense at the moment. It's going to be interesting seeing your former DC against your former OC. I just think Miami are going to outscore you. It's going to be a hell of a match. It's going to be a shootout. It could be that LA Rams KC from 2017, was it? 2016, when it was like 53-48 or something stupid like that.
I'm just really glad it's not on Sky.
So I think it is going to be on Sky because it'll be on the Red Zone pretty much a lot.
That's right. I thought in this week. What are the Sky games?
So I'm going for Miami.
Bengals Chiefs is the 9:25 game. I can't remember the.
So
other
I've
game.
gone for Miami. Mr. Perrins. No,
Well,
that guy.
I've gone for the Browns. I think the Texans are so poor that this isn't even a revenge game.
No.
Like all the revenge games that we've talked about this season has ended up with revenge not happening.
Yeah.
And the Browns just, even if Deshaun is not even remotely firing, he's still got the two of the best running backs in the NFL. They've got the best 1A, 1B, I think. I mean, we can talk about CMC and Burke, but Browns just have a better run game, and I just don't think the Texans are even remotely going to be able to stop them. I was to and fro, and I had to flip a coin on this one. I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions because, as much as I love the Jags, I think the Lions are consistent in what they produce.
Yeah.
Well, I think the Jags can go from being unplayable one week, and then you just go, Jesus Christ, what the hell has I just put out on the field? At least you kind of know the Lions will, beat you to the punch, or they'll just consistently hit the same. So I'm going to go with Lions just. I actually think this is going to be a very boring game between the Niners and the Dolphins. I don't see it being high scoring. I think it's going to be very contained. My only trouble is I don't think this season Kyle has he doesn't have an option B. So if things go wrong, if option A doesn't work, if the run game doesn't work with CMC and Debo, I don't think he trusts Jimmy Garoppolo enough. I don't think he's let off the reins like McDaniel lets Tua off the reins. And I think it's going to be a very 49ers defense heavy with an offense being very lackluster. But I think the Niners will win in a very low scoring game.
Mm.
I think, all right, this is why I'm going to get so much egg on my face. I don't think the score for either side will be over 20. And then I think the Bengals will beat the Chiefs because, I hate the Chiefs.
That's good because, we've not got any clean seats so far apart from Detroit. So
Okay, so
You've already gone for Cleveland.
I'm going to change that. So
Go on then.
I'm going to go. I fancy the Jags in this game. I really hope the Lions win because I really like Dan Campbell of the Lions. But I feel like that win for the Jags will kickstart their season and they will quite convincingly beat the Lions this week.
Okay.
It's interesting thing is, obviously they were 1 and 2 picks last year.
Yeah.
They're currently picking at I think it's 13 and 14.
And I think we can convincingly say that the number 2 pick has done a lot more than the number 1 pick this season.
Number 12 and they're picking at number 12 and number 13 in a minute.
And then I'm going for the Niners.
Oh, of course the Niners are going for the Niners.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have you actually voted against the Patriots this season? Yeah.
I've gone the Bills to win tonight.
I mean,
Yeah, but that's because you're playing the Bills.
Yes, mate. That's not like you putting your heart on your sleeve there. I mean, the Bills are
But
gonna.
yes, I do think it'll be a very close game. I don't think it'll be a shootout like Ollie said. But I also don't think it's going to be a very low-scoring game like Phil said. I reckon maybe like 30-25-ish.
Yeah.
And then I think KC are going to absolutely put the Bengals to the sword.
Okay.
I don't think they're
Mahomes
going
is
to put them to
gonna
the
be too
sword.
much.
Bengals do have Joe Mixon back, and they do have Lamar Chase. Obviously, Joe
Jamar
Mixon's
Chase.
coming
Ooh.
straight. Jamar Chase is coming. Joe Mixon's coming out of concussion protocol, so he's going to be a little bit more ready to go than Jamar. Jamar's with that hip. How explosive is he going to be than he was 2 or 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, but they have Mahomes, and Mahomes is just so special.
Going on, so I love listening to the Kelseys on their podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's absolutely brilliant. I mean, they've been showing bits of Mahomes on it this week and saying how Mahomes pretty much got himself drafted to KC.
Yeah.
And like how McNaghy pretty much gave him the playbook the night before his meetings, going, learn that, mate. It's brilliant. I absolutely loved it. I really, really have.
Didn't Pat Mahomes and his partner have a baby this week?
Yes.
Yes.
Patrick Mahomes the third.
Congratulations to them. Yeah, many congratulations to them.
I hate it when people do that.
Well,
Have
what
a
Call
baby.
it a different name. It's like so-and-so Junior.
I was about to say, Ollie, if you hate people having babies, you've had 2 yourself. Well, not yourself, but
Call it
yeah, but
like,
you see what it's like afterwards. So yeah, I can see where he's coming from.
it's like Ollie Hope the second. Just change the name. Don't be so lazy. It's a
Just ways.
family name. No, your family name's your surname.
And just when Ollie Hope
Don't
is
be
finding us,
lazy.
thank you.
Right, let's roll on. Let's roll on to this week's games. I would love us to win tonight, and I really, really would. If you asked me this 4 weeks ago, maybe even 5 weeks ago, I would have gone, yeah, Buffalo are going to absolutely wipe the floors. They're going to put another 40, 17 points on us, blah, 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 like they did in the playoffs.
I still think that's going to happen, by the way.
Looking at it now, they've lost Von Miller, which is a massive, massive blow to them in their defense. Josh Allen isn't playing as well as he was before before he got injured against New York. He's not playing well.
No.
We found something against Minnesota, but Minnesota aren't in the same league as Buffalo. Nowhere near.
Well, I mean,
Minnesota got lucky against that.
Yeah, I was about to say Minnesota did beat Buffalo, but I think Buffalo are better.
Minnesota got lucky in that game.
Yeah.
If Josh Allen hadn't fumbled in the end zone, they wouldn't have won that game.
Minnesota
I do
played
think-
Buffalo at the perfect time.
I do think we'll score against Buffalo, and I do think we'll be able to stop them, but I don't think we'll be able to stop them enough for them to
So,
for us
hold
to
on.
beat them.
You think you're going to score? You think you're going to stop them, but you're predicting Buffalo.
I don't think we'll stop them enough.
I think
We'll stop them. There's not going to be, they're going to have drives where, like, Josh Allen goes, sod this, I'm going to use his legs. All this week, I've heard coming out of Foxborough is Bill said, Matt Judon said, Max said in their press conferences, don't mind him throwing because we can attack the ball. We've got to keep him in that pocket to stop him running. If he can extend the plays and directing people where to go, he's in play. He is brilliant at that, and that is his super strength. Him and Mahomes are absolutely awesome at that, extending the plays, doing that. And if we could stop him from doing that, we'll have more of a chance. But I generally don't think.
I was going to say, yeah, but you were saying that, right? There's a reason why bookies all over the world win so much money on this league. It's so unpredictable. You've only got to look at games like the Bears beating the 49ers and Washington beating Philadelphia to see how many shocks are in this league. So, and of course, with the hoodie, you can never truly count the hoodie out, no matter what. He's always got a trick up his sleeve. He's been in this league long enough.
I haven't seen one trick play from them this year.
Good luck with
One
that,
trick
Kelly.
play from the Patriots.
Kelly, good luck with that. But I think the Bills are going to blow out the Patriots.
It's not going to be a blowout.
You see,
Obviously-
you say it's not going to be this, and usually when you say that, it ends up being that. So
Yeah, we have a tradition of doing that. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Oh, it's
And have a curse.
Is there any? Obviously, you've got your big game on Sunday night.
yeah,
Ravens have got. I can't remember who they got off the top of my head now.
I know.
You've got the Broncos, haven't you?
Aye, that's who we've got.
All you got to do is
So
let Russell Wilson throw the ball, and you'll be fine.
yeah.
Not the way. Well, as long as he doesn't turn into prime Trevor Lawrence, we'd be all right.
This is probably your best game to come out after that one. The Broncos, who have got injuries, who have like got Russell Wilson, who literally looks like every time he threw the ball, his shoulders could come out of his
Mr.
socket.
Limited.
Very limited.
Boys, watching our game on Sunday, right? I'm just going to run it down really quickly because I don't know what you said Monday. Basically,
we just talked about Jackson.
yeah, I thought you wanted to know. Right, defense was awful. Not going to lie. Lamar was, as usual, hot and cold. Did you see what he said to a fan in the week on Twitter?
Yeah.
No,
I've heard
Yeah.
about it. I've not seen it.
It was quickly deleted. You could tell the frustration that's going on, and he wants all this money. If you want his money, but earn it. If you want this money, play up to it. Play up to it. The only person that's playing up to that money is Justin Tucker, and he missed a 67-yard field goal by 4 yards for us to win on Sunday. And that's the only offensive weapon we really had. So they better pull their finger out against Denver on Sunday. I don't want to repeat of last week.
Can I just
Do
say
you
a game?
think? Sorry, carry on, Ollie.
I was going to say, can I just say a game that stands out to me that I think is not necessarily flying under the radar, but I think it'll be a lot closer than people think. And that's Titan Eagles. I think the
I was
Titans
just
could
about.
shock
Yeah,
the
that
Eagles.
looks a brilliant game.
Yeah.
I actually fancy the Titans to win that game.
I've
Bounce
got the
back
Eagles to win because I think
bounce
that's
back
stop
after that.
Derrick Henry.
To bounce back after their loss against the Bengals and beat the Eagles.
I'm going to ask Shane a question.
What's that about?
You're
What's
now
that?
7-4. We're now after 12 weeks of the season, so we're pretty much 2/3 of the way through the season now. In fact,
Yes.
we are 2/3 of the way through the season.
Wow, already.
Can you see Baltimore paying Lamar?
No. And now is a short answer.
Yeah, all right. That's a Zach Wilson answer. That is no.
Yeah. I personally don't think he's worth the money. I mean, he has moments of magic that you won't see from many other people, except for the likes of Jalen Hurts or maybe Justin Fields. But I don't think he's worth the money, and I think he's got a cheek asking for that much money. And the fact that he is sort of his own agent. I mean, if he could throw like or throw like Josh Allen and was winning games regularly, then fair enough. I wouldn't say a word. But a lot of our offense relies on our kicker, and that shouldn't be the case. If you want that quarterback money, earn it. But I don't think he's worth it. It'll be interesting to see if we draft a quarterback in the draft at the beginning of next year.
Well, to be honest, I think we'll know by then because
Yeah.
free agency
Yes.
will happen.
Another game that stands out to me this weekend as well is the 7-5 Commanders against the 7-4 Giants. Who saw that coming?
I love this schedule. Okay, so Washington have got Washington have got New York by New York.
Just stay in a hotel, boys. It's
Who
fine.
the hell's given them that schedule? I hate this schedule. Used to like it when it used to be right. Your divisional games at the beginning, divisional games at the end,
Yeah.
all in the middle. Why are they just higgity-picketing it around? I don't like it.
And I think there should be dedicated weekends. Don't care when, but dedicated weekends where everybody plays divisional games.
I thought,
It makes sense. It
Definitely
makes sense.
have week 1 as one, have week 18 as one. I don't care where you put the rest. Maybe stick one on Thanksgiving, but just give everybody divisional games. It's simple.
Yeah, Thanksgiving weekend would be a really good one because it's most of the time your divisional games are within like an hour's flight or something away from each other.
Yeah.
Most of the divisional games, so it would make sense. You're close to your family. Blah 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 blah. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to the Bears Packers. I think that's going to be a brilliant game. Even hopefully we'll see Jordan Love under center.
Is Fields still out? He's back.
He is currently questionable.
One more thing, right? Which I forgot to mention with the Lamar saga. Stanford are looking at Greg Roman. So if he does go to Stanford, which God willing and all that, how is that going to affect Lamar then? He have a completely different playbook. How is that going to affect things? But anyway, sorry guys. Exactly.
It's taken Mac 12 weeks to have 2 defensive coordinators call his plays.
Well, I think you'll find that was just a flash in the pan, and he'll be back to being Mac Jones's very rubbish self next week. I actually think the Jets-Vikings will be a good game too.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, Mike White 2.0. Mike White, second game where he crashes like he does.
Right makes right.
I mean, the thing is with Mike White, and he did this last year. His first game last season, he had 5 touchdowns. I think the next game afterwards, I think he had as many interceptions as he had touchdowns.
Yeah, something like that.
He's a season in. He's a fifth round pick. He does look like a good, but there is now people getting tape on him. Like if he's making these traits, you can start picking them up. Defenses will pick him up. It will be interesting though, because obviously New York have got a very very good defense. Sauce Gardner against Justin Jefferson. They matched up against each other. They matched up against each other in college, and guess who
That's
came
box
out
office
on top?
view. That's box office.
Top? In his freshman year, Sauce Gardner came on top.
Okay.
Just putting it out there. Phil, anyone jump out to you? I think you're looking forward to Seahawks Rams, aren't you?
You know what? Yes, because I think it's just going to be it's going to be the equivalent of watching like 2 homeless people fight in the street for like $1. That's what it feels like to me. I mean, Ollie, you might feel a little bit different about this matchup, but they are so insignificant now to how I see the NFC West.
The Seahawks are significant.
Are they? Because if you watch the game the weekends against the Raiders, yes, the Raiders played uncharacteristically well, but all the buzz around Geno, like him coming out the gates, like firing on all cylinders, he looked very ordinary. And I went back and watched the previous week, and he looked very ordinary then. So I'm not saying he's become a bad quarterback. I just don't think the Seahawks have the personnel to really keep going at the speed that they started at.
I'm just saying, at 6-5, they have to be significant.
Yeah, but you're saying it from like a statistic. I'm looking at it from the rest of the season playing out. I mean, they still have to play us. I just don't think the Seahawks are. I'm going to die on this hill. I don't think the Seahawks are a threat to the 49ers.
I'm gonna put something here. So I saw it the other day, and I can't remember if I put it on the group chat or not. The remaining schedules, ratings. You have got one of the easiest run-ins going.
Yeah, we do. We've got like,
less. Yours is less than 500.
We have Dolphins, Buccaneers,
Cardinals, and Seahawks.
Cardinals, Seahawks, Raiders, and Commanders left.
So you got Dolphins. Okay, that's coin toss. Buccaneers you should beat. Seahawks, that's another coin toss because it's at Seattle. Yeah. The way Washington are playing, that's another. You should beat Washington, especially at your place. Then you got Raiders and Cardinals. You should have. You could possibly have, unfortunately, 6 wins out of that, and I don't really like saying that.
Yeah,
5 wins out of that.
I think if we get 6 wins,
you could easily have 3 wins out of that.
Yeah.
But we don't need to talk about the 49ers because we've had that time. Let's move on for the 49ers. That's not the 49ers show, ladies and gents. But what I want to talk about is Mr. Primetime Sunday Night Football himself, Jeff Saturday going all the way to the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh,
Sorry, Phil. Do you just
Yes.
say Mr. Primark? Mr. Primark. My audio dropped out then.
Prime time.
Mr. Primetime himself. Jeff Saturday.
Mr. Primark's on football himself.
oh, please, someone,
Primark?
please, someone, Photoshop Jeff Saturday in a Primark uniform, please. That'd be absolutely superb.
Leave that on me.
Awesome.
Leave that to me. We'll do that this week.
And then we'll tweet it
Yeah,
out.
anyway, isn't Mr. Primetime Deion Sanders?
And he
Hold on,
is
I thought
going
it was
to Dallas
Kirk
when
Cousins.
Sanders did end his career. Well, did he end his career in Dallas? I know he peaked
Emmanuel
for the
Sanders?
49ers.
No, it's Buffalo.
No, that
Yeah,
was Emmanuel Sanders, not. I'm talking about
Oh,
Deion
Deion.
Sanders.
Oh, Deion Sanders.
Mr. Primetime.
Love primetime. No, I think this is Jeff's chance to go as a 500 coach again because he's currently 1-2.
Mm.
You
Oh,
reckon,
yeah.
you reckon they're going to go into Dallas and win?
Well, I think they're going to go to Dallas and absolutely clap Dak.
Careful how you say that, ladies and gentlemen.
Aye.
No, interesting thing is now, 3 years late, Dallas have realised Tony Pollard's a better running back than Zeke.
Yeah.
Only about 2 seasons too late.
Exactly. Brilliant player. Really good running back. I mean, you had him as your player of the week a couple of weeks ago, didn't you? It's really, really good. Before we shuffle on tonight, I am going to give the current draft order as we stand. Obviously, Texans are 1, Bears at 2. Lions will be picking at 3, thanks to LA Rams. Seahawks at 4, thanks to the Broncos. Then we have Steelers, Panthers, Eagles via the Saints. Cardinals, Packers at 9 at the minute. I could seriously see Packers dropping into the top 5. I really can. Las Vegas at 10. Texans then pick again because of the Browns. Then we got last year's number 1 pick at 12, the Jags. Lions at 13. Colts at 14. Falcons at 15. Seahawks 16. Chargers 17. Patriots 18. Broncos 19. Commanders at 20. Shayna, you're at 21 with the Ravens. Jets
Okay.
22. Bengals 23. Giants 24. Broncos have got your pick at
Via Miami.
25th. Then we got Titans at 26. Cowboys 27. Bills 28. Then we got Miami's forfeited pick at 29. Then we got Vikings, Chiefs, and Eagles finishing off. Texans need those 2 picks. They
do.
need 2 picks in the first round for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the other Texans pick from?
It is from Cleveland
Oh,
For
yeah.
Deshaun.
for Deshaun. Yeah. It is quite interesting. There's going to be a lot more moving around here yet. There's a lot of teams that have given up first round picks for players. Obviously, you had Lions or Rams because of Stafford, Broncos because of Watson.
Wilson.
Eagles, is it because from the Saints because the Saints traded up from them last year?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your pick went around the houses, didn't it?
We went to Miami for Trey Lance and Broncos for Bradley Chubb.
Yeah. So it went around the houses. I want to know because obviously you've got a 4-piece pick at 29, and obviously you've got the 270 odd players that are picked. Are they going to just chuck that extra pick up right at the very end?
No, I just don't think it's going to happen. I think there'll be 271 picks in this year's draft.
You reckon it's like, how are they going to do it? Yep, 29th pick was meant to be so-and-so. Now so-and-so is on the clock.
I just
Or
think it's
wherever
just going
Miami
to
end
go from Bills pick whoever,
Yeah,
Vikings on the clock.
interesting. Early days. I know we got free agency, but what position do you think, guys? You think you need? Just
Well, why
quickly,
don't you go first?
just quickly round the table.
Still cornerback.
Quarterback.
Quarterback,
Corner.
corner.
Oh. I think we need offensive line.
Yeah.
The way it's going, quarterback. The way it's going.
Yeah, you could have someone like Will Leather or Hooker could drop to you.
I thought this was supposed to be what your team needed, not what the other teams are going to pick.
Yeah, I'm just saying. O-line, wide receiver is what we need.
But just a quick one before we go, right? I woke up the other morning to a alert from Adam Schefter. On the top of my phone, I didn't show the full article. All it said was trade agreed for Lamar Jackson. So I opened my eyes, rubbed the sleep out of. I'm panicking, thinking, oh my God, it's finally happened. Someone's taking him. They did take Lamar Jackson, but they took the corner, Lamar Jackson, not our Lamar Jackson. So, I was panicking.
Did this happen before the trade deadline?
No, I'm sure that happened one day this week.
Unless he was released and he's been picked up that way.
Yeah, something happened. I'm panicking, thinking, oh my God, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Shano, thank you for dragging yourself out your COVID bed.
Always
been a
better than a
pleasure.
bed.
Phil, love your Trent Dilford stories all day long. Ollie, as always, mate, great to see you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and good night. Stay safe all.
Let's wrap.